In the days before the hated and often questioned VAR, there was a referee who commanded fear and respect. Considered by FIFA itself as the best of all time, we are talking, of course, about Pierluigi Collina, a man who took his role seriously and stood on the pitch as the highest authority, letting every player know that his word was the law. For those who watched football in his time, they had the pleasure of enjoying the cleanest and most disciplined matches in the history of the game. Any player had to think 1,000 times before committing an illegal act, for when there was a considerable foul, he did not hesitate to issue a red card. Even the toughest and most hostile players in football did not dare to look him in the face. It was more than fear. I think it was a deep respect for this man, a man who went down in history for his impeccable way of refereeing matches. He was so loved by the football community that we even saw him on the cover of a 2003 Pro Evolution soccer game. Now, as you may know, this is one of the most famous football video games of all time. And for a referee to be on the cover of something like that, well, he simply has to be a legend. Do you want to know his story? Without further ado, let the show begin. Pierluigi Collina was born on 13th of February 1960 in Italy. He attended the University of Bologna, where he graduated with a degree in economics in 1984. He played as a central defender for a local team, but he says that he soon grew to hate all the insults seen on the pitch, all the illegal sweeping and grabbing and punching and elbowing, and a host of other unhealthy viciousness that made football look like a dirty game. He soon got fed up with playing in a sport full of irregularities, and his tenure as a defender soon came to an end. He retired from his short playing career. Seeing how upright the young Pierluigi was, and seeing his love and steadfastness for fair play, his astonished teammates advised him to take a refereeing course, where it was discovered that he had a peculiar attitude and aptitude for the job. More than playing football, young Pierluigi enjoyed watching clean, disciplined football without unsporting attitudes. And soon, being a referee on the pitch became his great passion. There was a short, necessary break where he covered his compulsory military service. And then in 1988, he progressed faster than usual in refereeing, as it was said that his military service had totally transformed his life. His discipline, attitude and manner were even more severe, and this translated on the pitch towards the players. After 3 seasons, he was promoted to the first division of the Italian league. It was at this time that Collina developed a particularly severe form of alopecia, resulting in the permanent loss of all his facial hair, giving him his distinctive bald appearance with no eyebrows. And at the same time, this resulted in a much colder look. So when a player saw him shouting, it caused an intimidating fear and respect. In 1995, after officiating 43 Italian league matches, he was placed on the official list of FIFA referees. He was assigned 5 matches at the Olympic Games in 1996, and it was there that FIFA officials saw his incredible firmness and the intimidation that this character could exert on the players. That is why they gave him the opportunity to referee that final, elevating him to one of the world's leading referees. One of the most important matches was the Champions League final in 1999 between Bayern Munich and Manchester United. The referee himself says that this is the most memorable of his games, due to Manchester's incredible comeback in the final 2 minutes. And in that game, we also saw the great human side of this referee, where, despite his apparently hostile attitude towards the players, he also consoled and helped the losers of the match to get up from the pitch in tears. This great human gesture and his clean refereeing earned him the respect of the star players of the time, who even wanted him to referee most of the other big games. In June 2002, Collina reached the pinnacle of his career when he was chosen for the World Cup final between Brazil and Germany. Before the game, the hostile and aggressive German goalkeeper Oliver Kahn told the press the following: "Pierluigi Collina is a world-class referee, there is no doubt about that." And yes, in this 2002 final, the refereeing world witnessed something unique in history. And that was when he was given a standing ovation by the whole stadium in that World Cup. When he received the medal at that ceremony, the shouting and cheering was so loud that it astonished everyone present, as fans of both Brazil and Germany were united as one to thank the impeccable performance of this referee on the pitch. After this, he became known as the referee of the great finals, and his participation in every epic final of World Cup or Champions League, it was almost unquestionable. His cool manner of refereeing every match earned him worldwide fame. In 2003, he became the only referee in history to be on the cover of a famous video game, something which was almost inexplicable since in video games, refereeing is not an option for a player to use. But it still went down very well as a tribute to the superb and unequalled Pierluigi Collina. It was in February 2005 that he reached mandatory retirement age, and yet FIFA tried to change the rules so that the veteran referee could stay on for another 2 years. This caused jealousy and annoyance for the new generation of referees who were emerging at the time. And in response to this, Pierluigi Collina himself handed in his resignation. And despite the fact that FIFA was about to change the rules just for him, he decided to respect the established rules and officially declared himself retired. This was while football and football players were still cheering his presence in the stands, but he was determined he ended his career. Once this became known, the Italian Football Association tried to refuse his resignation, trying to convince him to at least referee Italian League matches, but he persisted with his retirement, as this was what the rules stated. The only thing he was willing to referee were charity matches, and that's where we saw him with the big names in 2006, 2008 and 2010. Throughout his career, he issued an exorbitant 1,445 yellow cards and 158 red cards. Among his awards are the best referee in the world in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003. Yes, he was the best referee in the world for 6 years in a row. In 2004, he was awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Science by his university for his contribution to the world of sport. In 2011, the veteran former referee was inducted into the Italian Football Hall of Fame. He was also the head of the UEFA Referees Association and has been for the last 8 years. He's currently the chairman of the FIFA Referees Committee and continues to give refereeing courses and takes part in various promotional events. In 2014, he put forward an idea that was on the verge of being approved, which was to suspend the player who injures another player for the same period of time that the player is recovering. In other words, if a player intentionally commits a foul and seriously injures his opponent, the player who committed the offence would be suspended from matches for the same amount of time it takes for the victim to recover from the injury. In other words, and I repeat it again, if a player is injured for a foul and is out for, say, 9 months with an injury, the player who committed this foul must also be suspended for 9 months. It sounds like a very drastic measure, but in football, perhaps we have to act this way. So says veteran Pierluigi Collina, who takes it for granted that if this rule is implemented, we would see a much cleaner football because of the fear of suspension, and so fouls and dirty play would disappear from the matches. This has been the story of the best referee of all time, the great Pierluigi Collina. And if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and leave your like on the video. And why not go to this one on the screen? You'll love it. And for now, friends, that's all, but we'll see you in the next show.